Many of you might remember the incident where a family was coming out of a dollar store and their 4 year old daughter took this 1 year old Barbie doll without paying for it. And they weren't aware of it. And it is something that small kids do all the time. They don't quite understand the concept of paying for stuff before you leave out of the store with it. And that's something that, we as parents, we know we teach our children. And this little toddler should not have done it. But then in the same token, the police should not have came on the scene with the reaction of throwing a pregnant woman down on the ground and just going all over the top with this whole thing. Well, Phoenix finally decided to fire the police officer over what happened. And I just remember this story being so ridiculous and so outrageous. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is how things are done in America, especially when they're dealing with us. They always want to have this overboard mentality where it's something that should never have even escalated. And on top of that, if you remember, Family Dollar was not even concerned about the doll. In fact, the store didn't call. It was somebody that was in the store, a customer in the store. But it was not actually the store. The store was so unconcerned about that child walking out with the Barbie doll, it wasn't even funny. But, and then they want to know why America now has a bad reputation and they can't even get tourist dollars like they used to. People don't even want to come to visit America anymore. Rightfully so. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the New York Times. Phoenix officer fired for pulling gun on family over shoplifting report. So at least one officer was fired and several others were reprimanded. But, in my opinion, they never do enough to rectify the situation when it comes down to these police officers. Everything they do is always at a bare minimum level. They never want to give them the punishment that they really truly deserve. The Phoenix Police Department has fired an officer who drew his gun on an African American family while responding to a shoplifting complaint, an incident captured on cell phone video that widely spread online. And we remember that the whole country was outraged over this whole incident because it never should have happened. At least one other officer was terminated and several others were reprimanded for their handling of other high-profile cases. Chief Jerry Williams said at a news conference on Tuesday, and I remember, if y'all remember, this Jerry Williams, the chief of police, she was trying her hardest not to talk bad about her officers in this whole thing, trying to handle it with kid gloves. Okay, so the officers have the right to appeal the decision. She said in the first case, she had decided to fire Officer Chris Meyer for the way he responded to the shoplifting call on May 27th, an episode that caused adverse effects on both the Phoenix Police Department and our community. And I heard the Phoenix police are terrible. And they're one of many that have a horrible reputation when it comes down to dealing with black people. And ladies and gentlemen, all of their acts when they come around us is deliberate. All of it. These cops don't need training. They just come around us and they all of a sudden don't care about nothing and just do things any way they feel like it. It's not a training issue. It's an issue of no morals. And on top of having no morals, you don't give a damn. That's the issue. It's not training. Okay. So another officer who was involved in the case was given a written reprimand, she said. Chief Williams also announced that 72 employees had been flagged for having possibly inappropriate social media posts. So these cops went out there and tried to put negative shit about this family on social media. 72, that's a disgrace. You got a terrible department. That this is just a sign that your employees are bad. They're bad seeds. They shouldn't be there. Um After an internal investigation, 11 employees were singled out for serious violations of policy, and one of them, Detective Dan Swick, was terminated, the chief said. 9 others who had been singled out were suspended for 8 to 40 hours. That ain't no damn punishment. So what? They didn't work for 8 to 40 hours? That ain't no damn punishment. Like I said, when it comes down to it's amazing. When it comes down to the cops, they will always want to give these really non-important punishments. But when it comes down to the public, you got to spend time for years behind bars. But these cops can murder, they can loot liquor stores, they can do any damn thing they want, and the punishment is always something bare minimum. But if you went out there and looted a liquor store or did what these cops do, you'd be behind bars for years. Who is supposed to respect that? Who is supposed to, seriously, who is supposed to respect that? When we see cops in America, we see criminals. The cops are more criminal than the damn public. That's a disgrace. But see, only in America, they will empower their cops. If you notice, other countries do not allow their cops to have that kind of empowerment. But here in America, they do. American cops got power that you don't see any other police force with on this planet. It's only done here. And you can tell by the incidents that keep coming out over and over, it's really inappropriate for them to have that kind of power, because when they do, this is the kind of stuff that happens. They go overboard on little remedial things. They handle things with not a thought or concern. It's like anything goes once they can, encounter one of us in the black community. All of a sudden, anything goes. They don't have to follow policies. They don't have to follow rules. They don't have to follow procedure. It's any damn thing goes. And that's exactly how they do it all across this country. It's not a training issue, ladies and gentlemen. You know what the issue is? They know when they come around black people, anybody in the black community, they can do virtually anything and get away with it because they were told this. This is something they've been telling each other. And this is why you see them acting it out over and over and over and over. They're told when they come around us, they can do any damn thing they want. They will not get in trouble. And if they do get in trouble, it'll be nothing. And you see that here. You saw what happened to this family coming out of the Family Dollar, and the woman was pregnant at the time. And they were trying to get her down on the ground with holding a baby. And it was hot that day. So if she would have put her child on the ground, she would have got scorched. They didn't care. Because, see, dealing with us, it's anything goes. Okay? And you see what the punishment is. So one person got fired, but that doesn't mean he can't go to another police department and get hired. The other one were just reprimanded. Oh, big deal. Big deal. They still got their job. They got reprimanded and still gainfully employed. What kind of damn it punishment is that? And now you see another one, 9 other officers suspended 8 to 40 hours. What kind of damn punishment is that? This is why they keep coming out here and doing stuff to us over and over and over. There are no consequences. These police departments do not operate under morality. They never have. Even in the slave catching days, they did not practice any morality at all. And they still don't when they handle us. It's the same as the slave catching days. Anything goes. Our officers behavior was unacceptable, Chief Williams said. So unacceptable that you gave them these lackadaisical punishments, right? I expect them to be respectful, professional, and compassionate in every situation and every encounter. That's laughable, Chief Williams. It's never like that out here. I guess you haven't been watching closely. Cops do not operate like that when they're dealing with the black community. And you are a black woman. I would think you would know this by now, but I think you do know it. You cops are trained to say certain things when you get all out in the public. This is all a joke, y'all. So, as far as I'm concerned, their punishment, no punishment at all. So what? One dude lost his job. The other one's got some little kitty-like punishment, but still got their jobs. I don't consider this anything. This family still needs to sue and move forward with their lawsuit and disregard these laughable punishments that this chief gave these officers. She's one of many that disciplined like crap. These aren't punishments. Nothing I read to you was a punishment. This cop that they terminated, he can go right down the road or go to another county and get hired just like that. We know this. These aren't punishments. This is just a joke. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.